Good morning, everyone. Guys, can you hear me? Hello? Guys, can you hear me? Okay, right. Screen visible to you? Is screen visible to you? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, in previous class, we have discussed about evaluating hypothesis. Okay. So, how to evaluate hypothesis? What is the hypothesis? Since from previous topics we have discussed about different algorithms, how we are getting that particular hypothesis. Okay, so how to evaluate that? So that is nothing but evaluating the hypothesis here. So the first point we have discussed, even though I'll discuss it again. Okay. So here, the first one is, given the observed accuracy of a hypothesis over a limited sample of data, how well does this estimate its accuracy over additional examples? Okay, so when future instances are given, okay, so what is the accuracy? If a particular training data is there, okay, suppose some training data is there, and you are giving that training data to your model, and it is giving us some output, it is generating some output, that is hypothesis. Okay, if any new data or new instances are given, so what is the accuracy with that particular hypothesis which we have, which it has been generated? Okay, the model has been generated. Okay, so here so empirically, if you see, empirically is nothing but you want to understand or you want to gain the experience from the observed data. So here empirically evaluating the accuracy of hypothesis is the fundamental thing of machine learning. Okay, so how you are evaluating the hypothesis, how much is the accuracy when you are evaluating the hypothesis here. Okay, so here the first point, given the observed accuracy of hypothesis over a limited sample of data, how well does this estimate its accuracy over additional examples? So this is the main thing. So here we have given some observed accuracy of hypothesis over a limited sample of data. Okay, so what we are doing, how this particular hypothesis is working. So whenever we are studying about, so previously in the previous class I have given you the example of Third World War. Okay, so when we are studying about that particular Third World War countries, do you gather each and every possible data about that? No. Why? Because there will be lot of data which is present in that particular area. Okay, so what we do, we take only representative sample. Okay, so one more example, that is when I'm studying about your class. Okay, so I want to take a representative sample. So what I'll do, I'll pick some girls and some boys. Why? Because it is a combination of girls and boys. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll take 5 girls and 5 boys, or 10 girls and 10 boys. So likewise. Okay, okay, so now I have taken a representative sample of it. If I take 20 boys and 2 girls information, that is not representative sample. So my sampling should not be biased, okay, to a specific category. So now our hypothesis is true for sample you have collected, but how does it estimate its accuracy over the additional samples? So that we take later. So here what I have did, I have taken the sample, representative sample, that is 5 girls, 5 boys, 10 girls, 10 boys. So likewise, if I take 20 girls, 2 boys, or 20 boys, 2 girls, so this is nothing but this is biasing. Biasing is done. So this should not be there. Okay. So if we even after not biasing also, if we give any new samples, okay, how well does it will be generalized to new data? So this is our first question. So that is, how well does this estimate its accuracy over additional examples? For previous data, it is working well. If we give new data, how well does it is working? So this is the first question. Second one, given that one hypothesis outperforms another over some sample of data, how probable is it that this hypothesis is more accurate in general? So now if you consider you have formulated 2 hypotheses. Okay, consider you have formulated 2 hypotheses. One is performing better than other hypothesis. Now, better performing hypothesis, does it generalize with the unseen data? or other hypothesis which is not performing well is more generalizable. So what is our second question? So we have generated a different hypothesis. In that different hypothesis, one is giving good result, okay, than the other one, okay. So now, if we give any new sample, that whether that will perform better for the unseen data which we have generated, or whatever the hypothesis which is not performing better, whether that is giving accurate data for unseen data. So this is our second question, okay. So this is second thing. Third one is, when data is limited, what is the best way to use this data to both learn a hypothesis and estimate its accuracy? So here, what is the best way? Now what we do here is, whatever the data set which is there, what we are taking the data set, any data set, okay. So dividing the data set into two parts. How? By train set and test set, okay. And we will test it. Or what we are doing, we are using one more technique, that is cross validation. So what is cross validation? Cross validation is nothing but we are dividing the data, okay, into different parts. How we are dividing the data here? One part, I'm using the data set into 10 parts. I'm dividing the data set into 10 parts. నా దగ్గర డేటా సెట్ ఉంది, దాన్ని నేను 10 పార్ట్స్గా డివైడ్ చేస్తున్నాను. వన్ పార్ట్ ఐఎమ్ యూజింగ్ యాజ్ టెస్ట్ సెట్, రిమైనింగ్ 9 ఐఎమ్ యూజింగ్ యాజ్ ట్రైన్ సెట్, and I'm executing the this data to my model, and I'm getting some output. Again, in the next iteration, what I will do, whatever the tested data which I have given as one part, that I will change. I'll take one more part from the 9 parts as a test set, okay. Test set అంటే నేను డివిజన్ని చేంజ్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఏవైతే 9 పార్ట్స్లో ఉన్న టెస్ట్ సెట్ ఉందో దాంట్లోకి ఒక పార్ట్ నేను టెస్ట్ సెట్కి ఇచ్చిన, మిగతా టెస్ట్ సెట్ది ఈ మిగతా పార్ట్స్ తోటి నేను కలిపేశాను. సో దట్ ఐ హ్యావ్ యూజ్డ్ ఫర్ ట్రైన్ డేటా, okay. So I'll be using this particular data in the next iteration. So what I'm doing here, I'm taking different parts as a train set and test set. మనం డిఫరెంట్గా దాన్ని కాంబినేషన్స్ యూజ్ చేసుకుంటూ, ఒక పార్ట్ దాంట్లో చేంజ్ చేసుకుంటూ, ఈ పార్ట్ ఏదైతే టెస్ట్ సెట్కి యూజ్ చేస్తామో అది మళ్ళీ ట్రైన్ సెట్లో యూజ్ చేసి, ట్రైన్ సెట్లో ఉన్న పార్ట్ని టెస్ట్ సెట్కి యూజ్ చేసి, అట్లా, okay. So likewise, what I am doing, I am taking different part as a train set and test set. So now, which is the best way to use the limited data? So మన దగ్గర ఉన్న డేటా సెట్ అంతా హ్యూజ్ డేటా, okay. హ్యూజ్ డేటాకి when we are using any classification model or any model which any particular algorithm or any technique which we are using for machine learning, it is working good for huge data. But here, if we are having limited data, how does it work? What is the best way to use? Okay, తక్కువ డేటా ఉంటే దాన్ని క్లాసిఫై చేయడానికి కష్టం అవుతుంది, okay. So how best it is performing for the limited data? So this is our third question, okay. Now fourth one is, limited samples of data might misrepresent the general distribution of data. Estimating true accuracy from such samples can be misleading. So now what I have told, we will be having a limited data. Sometimes if we have less data, okay. So example, I want to study about students in your class. So what I'll do, I'll take only 6 students data. So what it is, this is limited sample. That is nothing but your class strength is 60 and I am taking 30% of the data here. So if I don't have data, then it is limited sample, and that can be, and that I cannot distribute, okay. 60 students లో నేను 30 శాంపుల్ తీసుకున్నాను, 30% శాంపుల్ తీసుకున్నాను, కొంత డేటా దాంట్లో ఉండదు, ఓకే. మొత్తం స్టూడెంట్స్ డేటా ఉండదు, Okay, మొత్తం స్టూడెంట్స్ డేటా ఉండకపోతే what it will have, the model will be misleaded to that particular sample. So that is nothing but, you can see here, that is nothing but estimating true accuracy from such samples can be misleading. మన దగ్గర ఏదైతే డేటా ఉండదో దానికి మోడల్ మిస్లీడ్ అవుతుంది. సో దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ it will be misleaded, how it is done, how our hypothesis is accurate for this particular thing. So this is one more question. Okay, next is statistical methods together with assumptions about the underlying distributions of data allow one to bound the difference between observed accuracy over the sample of available data and the true accuracy over the entire distribution of data. So now, so in the previous point, I have discussed that if limited samples are there, in that limited sample, I have taken some part of the data and I have tested and I have generated hypothesis. Okay, in that limited sample, if any data is missing, okay, so what will happen? The model will be misleaded to that particular sample. If we give that particular sample to the model, లేని డేటాని మోడల్కి ఇస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? మిస్లీడ్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, ఇట్ గివ్ సమ్ పర్టికులర్ అవుట్పుట్. సో దట్ మే నాట్ బి కరెక్ట్. సో వాట్ ఇట్ షుడ్ హ్యావ్, ఇట్ షుడ్ నీడ్ గుడ్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ శాంపుల్. ఏదైతే డేటా ఉంటుందో అది మనకి కరెక్ట్గా ఉండాలి. దెన్ ఓన్లీ వీ కెన్ గెట్ ద అక్యురేట్ రిజల్ట్. The last point is we will be using statistical methods. So when we are performing the experiment, okay, so what we will do, it always take the assumptions. Here assumptions are associated. ఓకే, సో ఈ శాంపుల్ ఇస్తే ఇట్లా ఉంటుంది, ఈ శాంపుల్ ఇస్తే ఇట్లా జరుగుతుంది, ఈ శాంపుల్కి ఇంత వస్తుంది, ఈ శాంపుల్కి ఈ అవుట్పుట్ వస్తుంది. సో లైక్ వైజ్ when some experiment is performing, it always assumes something according to that. So here with every machine learning model, we have to associate some assumptions. Okay, so for that we will be using different statistical methods here. Okay, so how we have to assumption, how we have to think the assumption. If this particular training example is this, what is the output? Whether it will be yes or no. So likewise, okay. So this is these are the different module presents an introduction to statistical methods for estimating the hypothesis accuracy. So these are the different questions. The first one is motivation. So what is the motivation behind evaluating the hypothesis? So why we are evaluating the hypothesis here? Why to evaluate the hypothesis? Why to examine the hypothesis? So this is our motivation. Okay, so here sometimes precision is very important. Okay, you can see here precision as possible, learned hypothesis as precisely as possible. So that is nothing but precision is nothing but correctness in the accuracy or correctness in the results. So example, there is some database of different medical treatment. Suppose take cancer. Okay, so for cancer there is a treatment like chemotherapy. Okay, there is treatment like allopathy. So allopathy తీసుకుంటే క్యూర్ అవుతుంది క్యాన్సర్. నెక్స్ట్ హోమియోపతి తీసుకుంటే క్యూర్ అవుతుంది, ఆయుర్వేదిక్ మెడిసిన్స్ తీసుకుంటే క్యూర్ అవుతుంది. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద డిఫరెంట్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ టు క్యూర్ ద క్యాన్సర్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ learning effectiveness of different medical treatments. So what we are doing, we are taking different effects for our data set. Now evaluating hypothesis is an integral component of many learning methods. So what we have did, we have taken some data set, and with that data set different effects will be there. So which treatment is better for curing the cancer, which treatment is very effective in curing the cancer? So this is nothing but evaluating the hypothesis is a integral component of many learning methods. So till now what we have is, these are different learning methods we are having. So what we have to do here, we need to evaluate the hypothesis. We need to evaluate the hypothesis. This is nothing but integral component. So what is our integral component? To evaluate the hypothesis here. Okay. Next point is, estimating the accuracy of a hypothesis is relatively straightforward when data is plentiful. So if you take, suppose we are having 1 lakh patients data. Okay. So we can easily claim, and we have representative sample. Okay. So if you, example Indian population undi. Okay, Indian population 10 million data points we have taken. So it is nothing but representative sample. Large data locally koncham data ni తీసుకుంటున్నాం, that is representative sample. So what is happening, it covers all sorts of patients. అన్ని ఆ sample లో ఏమవుతుంది, అన్ని patients data ని కవర్ చేస్తుంది. So here what we are doing here, evaluating the accuracy of hypothesis is very easy when data is plenty. ఓకే, ఇంతకుముందు నేను చెప్పాను, డేటా ఎక్కువ ఉందనుకోండి, దాంట్లోకి వెళ్ళి అక్కడింత the difference and the variance in the estimate across sample will be very high if the data is low or less. Okay, so this is nothing but, there will be difference in the hypothesis, there may be difference in the accuracy when we are getting the output. So that is variance and estimate. So these are the two difficulties when we are having less data, limited set of data. Okay, so motivation is nothing but how to evaluate the hypothesis here for all these things. Okay, next is estimating the hypothesis accuracy. So when evaluating a learned hypothesis, we are most often interested in estimating the accuracy with which it will classify future instances. When future instances are given, so what is the accuracy ante enti ante, so already some data is there. Okay, what the model will do, it will be trained according to the data and it will give some output. If we are giving any new data to the model, how it will be evaluated, what is accuracy when we are giving new data. Okay, so now example Indian ante, suffering from diseases, the people who are suffering from disease or not, so this we have to estimate. So now we are having some 1000 patients data. Okay, So what will happen? This particular data will be trained to machine learning model to classify the data here. So what the machine learning model perform? It performs as 95% accuracy. That is nothing but learned hypothesis. అంటే ఏదైతే డేటా ఉందో దానికి machine learning has learned something. Okay, so now is it performing same with the new data? So this is estimating the hypothesis. Okay, so at the same time we would like to know the probable error in this accuracy estimate. So what we have to do, if any error is there with the accuracy what we are estimating, so what type of error it is, that we have to see. Okay, so that is nothing but we would like to know the probable error in accuracy estimation. So this is the thing. Okay, so for that I want to give example and how we are estimating the accuracy, that we will see by example with the different points. So let us consider the following setting for the learning model. So there is some space of possible instances x. X, what is capital X? Capital X is nothing but it is the set of instances in training examples. Example అంటే ఏంటి అని అంటే, suppose we are having data set. Okay, so these are the different data which we are having. Student number, name, okay, next marks, result, okay, next mobile number. So likewise we are having some data. Okay, so this particular total data is called as X. Okay, so this data which we are having, this is set of all the people, all the students data. So that is capital X, over which various target functions may be defined. So what we are doing, we are defining the target function according to this particular data. ఏంటది, what is it? That is nothing but example ఏంటి అంటే, people who plan to purchase new skis this year. Okay, so people want to buy something, so whether they want to buy this year or not. Okay, so this we are generating. Okay, so next point is we assume that different instances in X may be encountered with different frequencies. So here in the particular data, 50% want to skiing, 50% don't want to skiing. Okay, so likewise what is happening here, like this different frequencies are there, so we have to assume that particular different instances in X. Okay, so in total data this we have to estimate it, that may be encountered with the different frequencies. So there are no stable data, no stable data. Okay, so we will be having different combinations which are giving target value. That is nothing but one person want to ski, one person don't want to ski. So how many want to ski and how many don't want to ski, that we have to estimate here. What is the probability of skiing and what is the probability of not skiing? Okay, so that is nothing but yes or no. So this we want to estimate. Okay, so likewise there will be different probabilities. So now how to overcome this? So a convenient way to model this is to assume there is some unknown probability distribution D that defines the probability of encountering each instance in capital X. So now how to overcome this problem? So let us assume there is some probability, but it is unknown. Okay, so probability of getting this particular for attribute is 10%. Probability of getting this particular attribute, for a particular attribute is 50%. అంటే ఏంటి, 10% వెళ్ళాలనుకుంటున్నారు, 50% వెళ్ళాలనుకుంటున్నారు, 80% వెళ్ళాలనుకుంటున్నారు, 10% వద్దనుకుంటున్నారు, 50% వద్దనుకుంటున్నారు, 80% వద్దనుకుంటున్నారు. So like this, there are different probabilities which are associated with training example. Okay, so now the learning task is to learn the target concept or target function f by considering a space h of possible hypotheses. So what we have to do, which is the most probable hypothesis for these particular things. A different probabilities ki a probable hypothesis. So which one is the final solution? So there may be many possible hypotheses for this particular data. Okay, so for that we are estimating the accuracy. So training examples of target function f are provided to the learner by a trainer who draws each instance independently according to the distribution D, and who then forwards the instance x along with its correct target value f of x to the learner. So now each instance is drawn independently. That means does not have any effect on drawing other instance. Okay, instance ni draw chesamu. Okay, so that will not affect the other one. So here both are drawn independently or randomly. So whatever the data which is there, from that we are drawing some sample. Okay, so what we have to do, each and every instance, whatever it is there. Okay, so this is one instance, whatever the instance which is there, so that is giving us some output. So this will not affect whatever the instance which is there, that will not affect on the other one. That is nothing but we are drawing the data randomly, and we are testing the system. Okay, so example is nothing but tossing the coin. Okay, when we toss the coin, so what will happen, one time we will get heads, one time we will get tails, so we don't know. So one will not affect the other one. Okay, so now we are giving one particular training example and its target label to machine learning model. Okay, and the training example are not independent on other one. So all whatever the training examples which are there are drawn independently. Okay, so model is there, this particular training example is given to the model. Okay, with the target value. Target value ante enti manaki output anedi telusuntundi testing chesetappudu. So if you are having this particular data, student is there, student roll number is 1, name is A. Okay, and he is having some marks 70%. Okay, and my target value is pass. If he is greater than 35, he is pass. Okay, so this is target value, whatever the last column which is there, that is target value. Okay, so now what I'm doing here, now I'm giving this particular training example with target label to the model, and it will estimate the output. Now what is happening, this particular target, this particular instance is not dependent on the other. This is independent of itself. ఎందుకంటే ఆ పర్టికులర్ డేటా ఇంకో డేటాకి కనెక్ట్ అయ్యి లేదు. ఓకే, so to illustrate, consider learning the target function. So what we are doing, we have to consider the target function here. Target function ఏంటి, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లో ఇప్పటిదాకా చెప్పుకున్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లో people who plan to purchase new skis this year. So this is our target function. So given a sample of training data collected by surveying people as they arrive at a ski resort. So now consider the learning target function, that is people who plan to purchase new skis this year. Okay, so what we are doing, we are giving different types of advertisements. Example ఏంటి అంటే ఒక మాల్లో ఏదైనా ప్రోడక్ట్ సేల్ అవ్వాలి అనుకోండి. సో వాట్ we will do, we will give this different types of discounts. If you buy one shirt or two shirts, one shirt is free. Or if you buy 5,000, if you buy with the cost of 5,000, 1,000 is free. So likewise, they will be giving different types of advertisements. Okay, so targeted advertisements will be given to hit the customer here to buy the product. Okay, to know, to increase the target function. So what we are doing, we are giving the target function and we are asking the output. So what is happening, how it is estimating, how, who are the people who want to ski in the resort. So this is our target function. So how we are getting this particular target function here? So that is, in this case, the instance space x ante total data is the space of all people who might be described by attributes such as their age, occupation, how many times they skied last year, etc. So what we are doing here in the data, what we are doing according to the age, occupation, we are seeing or we are verifying the data of different people, whether they have skied in the last year or not, according to their age or according to their occupation. So what we are describing in different ways. Okay, so now the distribution D specifies for each person X the probability that X will be encountered as the next person arriving at the ski resort. So here X is nothing but it is each of training example in the data. X అంటే ఏంటిది, ఇండివిజువల్ ఇన్స్టాన్స్, డేటా సెట్లో ఇండివిజువల్ ఇన్స్టాన్స్. ఓకే, సో విచ్ ఇస్ రిలేటెడ్ టు ఏ పర్సన్. ఇప్పటిదాకా మనం ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూసిన దాంట్లో. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాబబిలిటీ ఆఫ్ పర్సన్ హ్యావింగ్ దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ అట్రిబ్యూట్స్ అరైవింగ్ ఎట్ స్కీ రిసార్ట్. సో ఇవన్నీ తోటి any person is there, how many persons are there, so that we have to estimate. Okay, so now what the machine learning model will do, now machine learning model can estimate the target level whether they buy the ski or not. Example ఏంటి అంటే banking system. Okay, in banking system different customers are applying for the loan. Okay, so what the bank manager will do, he will check the details related to the customer. So whether he is having job or not, whether his income is enough or not, okay, to give the loan. Okay, so based upon all this data only, the loan manager or bank manager will give the loan. If the customer is having all these details, all these things, then he is eligible for loan, otherwise he is not eligible for the loan. So this is our target function. Okay, so that is the target function f colon x tends to 0, 1 classifies each person according to whether or not they plan to purchase keys this year. Ante what is f? F is our target function. X is nothing but total data set training examples. 0, 1. 0 is nothing but if the customer will get loan or not. If the customer will get loan, that is 1 ante yes ani. If the customer will not get loan, that is 0 ante no ani. Okay, so the target function will decide, it will classify the different data into 1 and zeros here. So for deciding this, there are two questions. So after understanding the problem, so there we will be arising two questions here. What is the first one? Given a hypothesis H and a data sample containing n examples drawn at random according to the distribution D, what is the best estimate of the accuracy of H over future instances drawn from the same distribution? So here hypothesis H, and we are having n examples, okay, and drawn random according to the distribution D. So we have drawn the data according to the distribution D, that is D is the data set. So we have picked random data, okay. So what is happening till now? I have told you the bank loan, whether the bank manager want to give the loan to the customer or not, okay. So if the customer is sitting in the home and he want the loan, so this particular training example is not valid, okay. So whether a particular hypothesis is there, whether this particular hypothesis will predict whether to this particular data or this particular sample or not, this is our first question. డేటా మొత్తం అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసుకున్నాక ఒక క్వశ్చన్ అరైజ్ అవుతుంది. ఏంటి అని అంటే కస్టమర్స్ వచ్చి అప్లై చేసిన వాళ్ళకి లోన్ ఇవ్వాలా వద్దా అని డిసైడ్ చేస్తాం. కానీ ఇంట్లో కూర్చున్న వాళ్ళకి లోన్ కావాలి అని అంటే మోడల్ అనేది ప్రిడిక్ట్ చేస్తుందా? So what we are doing, we are drawing the training example independently according to the distribution here. So from the previous data only, we are drawing the sample points. అంటే డేటా పర్సన్స్ ఎవరైతే అప్లై చేశారో దాన్ని బట్టే మనము ఇక్కడ హైపోథసిస్ని జనరేట్ చేస్తున్నాం. Okay, so what is the best estimate of accuracy of hypothesis over the future instances which are drawn from some distribution? ఆ డేటాలోకి వెళ్ళి మనము ఇంట్లో కూర్చున్న వాళ్ళు కూడా అప్లై చేశారనుకోండి రాకుండా, సో వాళ్ళకి హైపోథసిస్ అనేది కరెక్ట్గా ఎస్టిమేట్ చేస్తారా లేదా? సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద బెస్ట్ ఎస్టిమేట్ ఆఫ్ accuracy of the hypothesis here? This is the one more question which arises after understanding all the data to the model, all the training examples to the model, okay. So now from observed training examples, we formulate the hypothesis. What is the accuracy with future instances? What is the probable error in this accuracy estimate when it has to predict for new training example, okay. For this, sample error and true error are applied. So we need to understand the error here. For estimating for those things, we need to understand about the error here. So we need to distinguish between two notions of the accuracy. What is accuracy? Accuracy is nothing but it is the opposite for error. Opposite of error. Error ki opposite accuracy. Okay. So what we have to do, we need to distinguish carefully between two notions of accuracy or equivalent error. So what are those? One is error rate of the hypothesis over the sample of the data that is available, that is called a sample error. The other is error rate of the hypothesis over the entire unknown distribution D of the examples, that is true error. So what is sample error and what is true error? 30 students. Okay. Now we have taken only 30 students data. So this data is drawn and I have given to the model, and I got hypothesis which is performing well with 95%. ఈ 30 స్టూడెంట్స్ తీసుకొని మోడల్కి ఇచ్చి నేను ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తే ఐఎమ్ గెటింగ్ 95% accuracy, and 5% it is giving error. Okay, 5% it is giving error. So this is called as sample error. అండ్ ఏంటంటే నేను ఓన్లీ శాంపుల్ మాత్రమే తీసుకొని దాన్ని ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తున్నాను, దాంట్లో మనకి ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది. సో దాట్ ఈస్ శాంపుల్ ఎర్రర్. ఓకే, నౌ వాట్ ఐఎమ్ డూయింగ్ ఫర్ ద సేమ్ ప్రాసెస్, ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్ ద అదర్ 30 స్టూడెంట్స్. మీ 30 స్టూడెంట్స్ తీసుకుంటే ఇంకో 30 స్టూడెంట్స్ మిగిలిపోయారు కదా, సో ఐ హ్యావ్ టేకెన్ దోస్ 30 స్టూడెంట్స్. ఓకే, ఆ 30 స్టూడెంట్స్కి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తే ఐఎమ్ గెటింగ్ ద సేమ్ థింగ్, దట్ ఈస్ 95% accuracy and 5% error. So this is called as true error. Okay, so now I am testing the hypothesis with other data, that is other students data. Okay, so I'll test my hypothesis with this particular data. So how best is my hypothesis predicting? So here it is also predicting 95% again, and I'm getting 5% error. So this is called as true error. Okay, so the error associated with sample is called as sample error, and the error associated with large data, the other data which is not considered, that is called as true error. Okay, so this is the difference between sample error and true error. So this we will find. Okay, to reduce the error here, to estimate the hypothesis. So these are the formulas which we will be using for sample error and true error. Okay. Guys, any doubts regarding anything? Guys, any doubts? Can you hear me? Okay then. Can anybody share me the attendance? Paridi, Sandeep, Saikat, anyone. Don't leave. Okay guys, you can leave.